Hi, I'm Bob Humphrey with another tip from Yamaha. Today we're going to talk about proper clothing for winter weather. You know what the biggest killer in the outdoors is? Well, it's not lions, tigers, or bears, or falling from a tree stand. It's hypothermia, exposure to the elements. Too much cold, too much moisture, you could be in a real dangerous situation if you're not dressed properly. That's why it's so important that you wear the right clothes. So let's take a closer look at what I mean. One of the most important things to remember when dressing for cold weather is to dress in layers. It's better to have more than you need than to need and not have. And your layer system starts with your base layer. Okay, again, think about moisture. You want a synthetic fabric that will wick moisture away from your body, keep your body dry, but still provide some degree of insulation against your body. And if you're deer hunting, bear hunting, or hunting some other animal with a keen nose, it's not a bad idea to have a fabric that has been treated with some sort of antimicrobial to help suppress your human odor. Now your next layer is your first insulating layer. And again, you want some sort of material that's going to wick moisture away from your body, won't absorb moisture, and will trap air, providing some sort of a layer of insulation to keep your body heat close to your body. Synthetics, wool are a good idea. Down is great in dry weather, but when it gets wet, it loses its insulating ability. So better to go with a synthetic or with a natural like wool. Now, if it's going to be really cold out there, you might want to add a second insulating layer. And the modern synthetics that are available now are great because they provide the loft without the bulk. They insulate, they'll continue to insulate even if they do get wet. They'll wick moisture away from your body, but they'll keep you warm and without the bulk, so you can move around. You can aim your gun, you can draw your bow, you can steer your ATV. Countless activities without feeling restricted. You're mobile, you're agile, you can move around, but you're warm and comfortable. Okay, now finally, if it's really going to be cold, strongly consider an outer layer. Okay, that second insulating layer might work under some circumstances, but really you're better off to have something with a little bit more durable, a little bit tighter weave fabric on the outside, and more importantly, a waterproof, breathable laminate inside. If it's wet, that's going to keep environmental moisture out, but it's going to let your personal moisture, the sweat that you built up walking to your tree stand or hiking through the woods, it's going to let that out. It's going to keep the moisture, the rain, the snow off you. And even if it's dry, that provides a barrier against the wind, which can really penetrate clothes and get into your bones, make you cold, and turn a long day into the field into a short day. Okay, we're still not done yet. Now we have to think about our extremities, head, hands, and feet. Okay, you want to keep your head warm. Now people say you might lose 70, 80, 90% of your body heat through your head. That's a fallacy, but you do lose heat, especially if you don't have the proper headwear. Again, synthetics, fleece, wool, something that's going to insulate is a good idea. And if you have environmental moisture, rain, snow, something with a waterproof, breathable laminate on top of that or instead of that. On your hands, same thing. Synthetic insulation, a little bit of insulation to keep your hands warm, waterproof, breathable laminate to keep them dry, and I prefer gloves over mittens because it gives you that manual dexterity to pull a trigger, to turn a key, to reel in an ice fishing line. And if it really, really gets cold, you can add a hoodie or a balaclava. That'll keep your face and your head warm. And last but not least is our footwear. Knee-high boots like these, rubber, neoprene, are very popular among outdoorsmen, particularly deer hunters. But they work great for riding in your ATV, riding on a snowmobile, ice fishing. Provides insulation, keeps your feet warm and dry. And they will, to some extent, wick moisture. One thing you want to consider about wicking moisture in feet is your socks. Okay, just remember, cotton is rotten. Cotton soaks up moisture, it holds it, and if your feet get wet, they're going to get cold, you're going to be uncomfortable. You want synthetic wool, smart wool, something like that, that's going to wick moisture away from the body, provide an insulating layer. And if you want to go the extra mile, you might consider a thin sock liner first, and then an insulating wool or a smart wool or some sort of heavier synthetic insulating sock over that, much as you do with your body, with a base layer, an insulating layer, and then your boots provide the outer weatherproof layer. A few more things you might want to consider are pocket warmers, foot warmers, hand warmers, either the inexpensive disposable type or the more expensive rechargeable type that you can recharge and reuse over and over again. Put them in your boots, put them in your gloves, under your hat. A lot of today's outdoor clothing has strategically located pockets and heat points that you can put those heat pads, those pocket warmers in, and it'll help keep you warm, a little bit additional warmth in addition to what you generate yourself. Another thing you might want to consider is a padded seat cushion, especially if you're sitting on a metal tree stand seat or you're out on the lake ice fishing and sitting on a cold bucket. It'll help keep that cold from penetrating into your bones, which might otherwise turn a long day into a short day. The more time you spend in the field, the more successful you are. That's about it for this time, but please check back again soon and often